Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Noah back again with another video, and this is gonna be a little bit more of a serious video. I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about essentially the Matrix. Now, I want to go into pretty much what it is and how you can free your mind and become, a free thinker and just be free, really, because there are certain systems controlled within the government that that allow us to be, trapped and feel like we don't really have options in terms of as to what we can do to become financially stable, or just stay happy. You know what I mean? And so what I mean when I say the Matrix is, if you guys have ever watched the movie The Matrix, it's pretty much like this guy. I haven't really watched the movie, but I've heard that it's about this guy who gets called up or whatever. Basically, he's like the chosen one, and he I'm not too sure. I'm not gonna really explain it like I know what I'm talking about, but pretty much in that movie it demonstrates like how the world works and how everything's being controlled pretty much. And now, that term, the Matrix, it can be a little bit, I don't really like that word per se, but it's the most popular, that's the word that a lot of people use, so I'm just going to use that. The Matrix it's pretty much everything that we see outside of the world within us, And what do I mean by the world within us? I mean, when you meditate, you're able to kind of see how you feel, pretty much your thoughts, actions, and feelings, and pretty much everything on the outside is, you could say, the Matrix. Television, right? Stores, restaurants, fucking TV, commercials, celebrities, fucking music, it's all part of the Matrix, pretty much. Now, the Matrix is Shakespeare, as Shakespeare said, the whole world is a stage, and that's pretty much the terminology for the Matrix. It's, the whole world is pretty much a stage. It's not really real. It's pretty much everything is just set up to show people certain things, right? Now, before I get any further, this is only my opinion. Obviously, I believe this to be true, but this is only my opinion, so I'm not claiming it to be fact, but this is true for me. And I just want to make that clear. And it sucks that I have to do that, you know what I mean? But I know some people are going to watch this and be like, bro, you're wrong, and stuff like that. I'm not claiming that I'm right, I'm claiming that I'm right for myself, So yeah, with that out of the way, pretty much Shakespeare said, the whole world is a stage. And like I said before, that's pretty much the whole concept when you talk about the Matrix, right? It's like everything is set up in a certain way to show people certain things. And the news, when we watch the news, right, 99% of the news is negative. Have you ever questioned that? Why don't they ever show anything positive on the news? Or if they do, it's only 10%. 90% of the news is negative. And it's because it's programmed to keep people in fear. They don't want to, they don't want us to be happy, because when we're in a fear state of consciousness, then they are able to control us. And it's easy for us to be controlled because we're fearful. We're going to react on emotion, and that's what they want. When I say they, I'm talking about the government, I'm talking about the elite, just the people who run everything, in terms of TV, media, social media, all that stuff. did you guys know that 90% of the media is owned by 6 major corporations? You know what I mean? So it's obviously a monopoly happening, of sorts. But, you know, back to what I was saying, like, it's easier for us to be controlled when we're in a state of fear. Meaning when the news puts out fear-based, you know, things going on in the world, you know, when people are putting that stuff out into the world, then it makes us scared, like it makes us fearful, you know, like when COVID came out, when they were talking about all these cases being dropped, and all these people are like, you know, and they made it seem like all these people are dying. And I'm not saying COVID is fake, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that. What I am saying is there was kind of a plandemic happening, you know, instead of a pandemic. I definitely think that they planned it. I think that they planned all the media outlets broadcasting it as such a negative thing, you know. I think that was planned, but something that they won't tell you is that the COVID-19 virus was extracted from a wet market in China, you know, or I think it might have been China, but I know it was in in Asia somewhere. So, but that's not what they're going to tell you, you know what I mean? They're not going to tell you how it's extracted, you know, which is an example of, you know, us being controlled in a state of fear, you know. And, you know, it's like, I could go on and on forever, but there are just certain things where it's not, you know, it's just us being controlled by like the government. And if you break that word down, government, you know, the government governs our mental state of consciousness. You know, think about it. Governmental. It governs our mental state of consciousness to where we can't think for ourselves, and we can't, you know, we don't question shit, you know, right? Like we just do whatever, and we eat whatever. That's another thing, diet. A lot of, you know, that's another thing. You have to question like everything that's being broadcasted on TV, and, you know, all these commercials that you see on TV. You know, I'm sure you guys see a lot of McDonald's, Burger King, all these fast food commercials, right, on TV. They're promoting, you know, food that's not going to help you evolve. That's you know, that's calcifying your pineal gland, and it's making you not able to think for yourself. It's another way of you being programmed. You know, us as humans, we're designed to eat foods that are alive and electric, you know, meaning fruits, you know, vegetables, organic fruits, organic vegetables, right? And it's, you know, and obviously those aren't going to taste good if you're used to eating a lot of fast food. This was in my case, you know, but that's another thing. It's like, you know, they're just promoting all this fast food, and all this fast food, when we eat it, it's not helping us develop. It's not helping us grow. You know what I mean? Now, that's pretty much what the Matrix is, in my opinion. It's everything on the outer world. Like everything that's going on besides how you feel, how you think, feel, and act, which is your dominant vibration. And so that's what the Matrix is. I want to talk about a few ways that you can free your mind from the Matrix. You know, I think that we all can do our part to, I think food is one of the most important ways, you know, food, nutrition, because here's the thing, when you're eating fast food, you're not questioning what you're eating, right? You're just eating it because it tastes good, you know, and that's kind of what they want. But have you ever noticed when you eat those foods, you always want to keep going back and back to those restaurants? Why? You know what I mean? It's like, why? And you could say like everything that I'm saying is a conspiracy, right? But you have to think about it in this way. Someone came up with that word conspiracy to make people who think outside the box look weird, or or dumb or like stupid, you know, because it's like, why, like a conspiracy theory, you know, all it is just asking questions about like what's going on, you know what I mean? So when people say the flat earth, like when people are like, oh my gosh, the flat earth, how could you believe in the flat earth, or how could you believe that the earth is flat? Now, I'm not saying that the earth is flat, right? But what I'm saying is NASA has came out and said that they use CGI composites when they take pictures of the earth, meaning that it's not actual photos. It's edited photos, you know, and they use a fisheye lens. You can look this up. You can actually look this up. You know, it's not like BS, but they use fisheye camera lenses, which is lenses that distort, you know, it makes the vision, it makes the camera image more rounded, you know. And so, you know, when we say conspiracy theory, you know, yeah, you could say all of these are conspiracy theories, but you have to, again, question where did that term come from, you know? It's all like controlled to make us seem like, you know, we don't know what we're talking about, or we're crazy, or we're stupid, you know. And I just think it's funny. Like, I laugh at it now, but yeah, guys, it's a lot deeper than, you know, what's shown like on the media and television and stuff like that. You know, it's like, it's just like, have you like, and it's great because I think this is a great time to be alive, because we're in the information age. You know, we're moving into the age of Aquarius, which is the truth. You know, the veil is being lifted, and, you know, meaning that people are starting to awaken to who they truly are. And when you truly understand that, and when you actually know who you are, then things on the outside world don't really affect you. Like, you don't really give a fuck about what someone thinks about you, you know. I wanted to get this haircut, right? But if I had worried about what other people would think, you know, then I wouldn't want to get the haircut, you know. And I think that goes for doing anything, really. You know, when we're in a state of fear, it makes us not want to do things, and it makes us not want to take risks, which is why you see, you know, and I love how they say like, oh, there's the 1%. It's like, there's not like 1%. Like, it's the amount of people who are rich who you don't see. Like, the 1% is the people who we know of. Jeff Bezos, fucking Warren Buffett, you know, who else? Mark Zuckerberg. Like, these people who they show are the 1%. You know, it's like there are a lot of other people who aren't even known. Like, people don't even know about them, who are like billionaires, you know, because they don't choose to be shown. You know, it's like there are other people making billions of dollars who nobody knows about, you know. Like, I know people who know these people, you know. So it's like there are other people who aren't being shown. So it's like the 1%, there's a little bit there's more people making that type of money, you know, that isn't shown. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that, you know, I'm not saying that that people who are like homeless don't like exist, or like people who are of like low incomes don't exist. I believe that they do exist, you know. You know, I think here's another thing. It's like that you have to question, right? Something that I've been thinking about recently. Why does the government, you know, the stimulus checks, right? I'm sure all of you have heard of that. How much are they giving us? It's like monthly, right? $1,200. My mom has like 7 kids, right? I live in a family with 7 other people, and they're giving my mom $1,200 to be able to support all of us. Okay, take that, and take the fact that I just bought my car license plate, like tag. You have to buy a tag every single year. So that tag costs around $20 or $30, depending on where you live. 35, maybe 40. For 2 years, it's like around 60. Mine was 70 because I purchased it for 2 years. I ended up paying $106, which is fine. Like, I don't care about that. Like I don't care about the cost, but $70, right? let's say people are only buying it once per year, but you have to buy that tag on the back of my car on your license plate. You have to buy a tag yearly. So it's like, that's around $20 to $30, right? There are roughly a little over 300 million people in the United States. I think it's like 330 million or something. Correct me if I'm wrong, but out of those 300 million, let's say 100 million people have cars. That's being very, very conservative, right? That's, obviously there are more people than that have cars, but let's just say 100 million, that's a third of the United States that actually owns vehicles, including people who have multiple vehicles, So it's like, let's just say it's 100 million, obviously there's more than that, but let's just say it's 100 million. So 100 million people are paying $20 to $30 yearly on, for their license plate tag. Now, where does that money go, you wonder? Who knows where it goes? Who are we paying that money to? The government, maybe? Probably the government. That's what I would think. Or at least 50% of that money's going to the government. So if that's being said, right, $20 or $30 for that license plate tag, right? That doesn't even include all the fees that come with it. Like, I had to pay $19 for the registration fee from where I got my tag from. But that doesn't even include all the fees. So it's like $20 to $30 people are paying every single year. So think about that times 100 million people every single year. So it's like, you have to question, how much money is the government actually making? It's like, so when they give us these stimulus checks that are only worth $1,200, that's nothing compared to what they're making. They're making a shitload more than that. They have like trillions of dollars. People could be like, oh, well, they have to use that for roads and stuff like that. Okay, but realistically, roads aren't that expensive, right? Like, it's not, I mean, I guess I wouldn't know, but the road, like, they have way more money that they could be giving out to the United States citizens. That is just one fee that they own, that the government has. Think about all the taxes that people pay yearly, right? You could think about the taxes, fucking, bro, literally, like, taxes, everything, right? Like, there are other shit that we pay for that money goes to the government. So the government's easily making trillions of dollars off of us every year, when you really think about it, or at least a trillion. All I'm saying is they're making a lot more than to be giving us $1,200 a year. Especially, like, that's a slap in the face of my mom, who has 7 kids, who she has to take care of. It's like, it's pretty disrespectful. And you could be like, oh, that's a conspiracy theory too, but that's actually fact. And it's like, it goes back to, where did that term come from? It came from, someone invented that word to make people who think outside of the box look weird or crazy or stupid, and that's another thing that I want to get to. That's, the whole Matrix. I could go on and on about how there's certain agendas being played, but I want to leave it with this. As you saw, you could get mad or get annoyed at it, which I am. I am annoyed. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that pisses me off, the fact that the stimulus checks are only worth $1,200. It's like, it infuriates me, to be honest. But we could, as a collective, choose to buy into the Matrix. But I think the most important thing to do during this time is to just transcend, because the Matrix is always going to be there, but there are actions that we can take as humans to develop ourselves. And I think that this is the most important key in this video. Is there's a lot of stuff going on in the outside world, right? And I think it's terrible, there's, there's like so much shit going on in the world, but I think we can look at everything that's going on, and we can, I guess I'm saying in terms of the Matrix, so everything that you see, but I think we have to do our best to develop ourselves personally, you know. Now, what do I mean by this? I mean taking precautions in terms of your nutrition. Watch out for what you're feeding your mind. Pay attention to how you feel. That's the most important thing I'm going to say in this video. Pay attention to how you feel, because, you know, there are some, when you watch the news and when you're on social media a lot, these things can make you feel a certain way. And I think that it's important to be able to, I think it's important to be able to recognize what the Matrix has done to us. You know, like, we have been lied to like our whole lives, right? Like the shit that they talk about in school, it's all self-limiting beliefs. It's like, we were never taught that we were able to make, you know, however much money we want. We're not taught that, because, you know, in standard American society, we're told that, you know, we have to go to school, and then we have to go to college, and then we have to get a job for like 40 fucking years of our life, and then retire, and then we can actually have, you know, a good life. But it's like, in reality, that doesn't have to come into fruition, you know. Like, you know, there's reasons why the law of attraction isn't talked about a lot, and it's not shown that much publicly. You know, you're not going to see the law of attraction on TV, or how to be in a better mood. You know, you're not going to see these type of things on TV. You're going to see shit on TV that's going to make you sad and make you fucking upset. And I think that's why I think it's important to, you know, limit your phone time, limit your screen time. You know, watch out for who you follow. If you follow someone that makes you feel a negative emotion, meaning fearful or just uncomfortable, unfollow that person. You know, it's as easy as that. I had to make like a whole shift in who I followed on Instagram, right? So just really be careful and really pay attention to how you feel, because there are things out there that make you feel a certain way that you're not used to, or that you shouldn't. You know, we are all light beings, we're all spiritual beings, and we all, you know, we're all made up of love, and it's unconditional love. That's our natural vibration. Naturally, we are unconditional love. You know, that's our vibration naturally. And so I think it's important to, yes, be aware of what's going on, you know, the truth about what's going on. But it's important to take actions to help us develop ourselves, you know, meaning limit our screen time, like I said, limit TV time, limit what you know, be wary of what you watch on TV, who you're following on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, even. Be careful of who you follow, because that can all together affect your vibration and how you feel. What else do I need to say? Go outside more. That's a huge one for me. You know, we're all connected with nature, and when you go outside and you start to feel the sun, the vitamin D, it's great. It really just keeps you grounded and puts you in the present moment. And that's another big thing. Try to be as present as you can, you know. They can try to say that, you know, they can try to make us stressed out as much as they want, but, you know, as long as we're working on ourselves, because here's the thing, here's another important thing. You can choose to be happy, you know. You can choose happiness. You can choose love over fear. You know, it's like they want us to be divided. They want us separated. You know, at birth we were taught about race. You know, they put the race label on everybody just because of the different pigments of our skin, you know. And the thing is that there's only one race that really exists, and that's the human race. You know, we all bleed red, right? And yeah, so I just think it's important to just realize that, you know, yes, there are people who are different than you, and there are other people that are going to be different, but we are all interconnected. and we're all one consciousness, whether you want to believe that or not, you know. But yeah, make sure you're focusing on yourself, make sure you're watching what you eat, and make sure that, you know, you're going outside more. To be honest, that's probably the most important thing. Just go outside, just be out in nature, you know, let the grass soak up your feet. You know, walk outside barefoot. You know, it's grounding. It'll help you stay grounded and just feel present in the moment. Meditation's a huge one for me. You know, meditation has changed my life. It's been able to, it's made me able to, you know, be aware of certain things and to just be conscious, you know, think about my thoughts before I actually say them, you know. And yeah, so with that being said, guys, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. This is my longest video that I've ever made on my channel, so make sure that you give this video a thumbs up, share this video. It's very important, I feel like, for people to know. And I want to, yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to let me know in the comments section down below. Or if you have any questions, or if you just want to say hi, you know, I'll respond to every single comment. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in this far into the video. Have a wonderful afternoon, morning, or night. And peace, love, and happiness, y'all.